what memories do you have of riding at home as a kid? Like, how hard was Millville on a 65?
It was pretty tough. I was definitely pretty scared of the hills. I remember like trying to get up the hills and like going down, and whatnot. I remember I'd go down the start straight, down the first straightaway. The whoops were too gnarly, so we would kind of either skip the whoops or we would do the whoops when they're in the right condition. I remember being terrified of those things, and then we would kind of do the old catapult, which
Yeah.
was a little smaller,
Yeah.
and then there was like a medic road that would cut down, and then we would just do that part over and over and over. So that was kind of the memories we had, and then we had like a bunch of Spring Creek's obviously a pretty big operation. It's a lot of work, so we would have club members, and on Wednesdays we would kind of get together and we would just ride, and it was like we would make it fun. We'd do like races staggered from slowest to fastest, and we'd time it out and all that kind of stuff. So, and we'd ride the trails. So it was just for me growing up, riding was just fun with your buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it every day that you rode?
Yeah, like when we started to do the amateur nationals and that kind of stuff, like I really think on the Super Mini, like I rode a lot. Like I rode 6 to 7 days a week, like I said earlier, and my dad would rebuild a Super Mini and put a new piston in at least once a week, and we had like a big rod, and it was just lined with pistons.
No way.
Yeah, like I was a psycho.
Even at that age on a Super Mini.
Yep.
Like, do you remember the headspace? Because not many kids are like that.
No, I know. I think back, like everyone else was out having fun, but we were out in the country. We had no cell phone service, and we just kind of, to have fun, you rode your dirt bike.
That's just how it was set up.
Yeah, we just like, and we'd work. Yeah, we'd work.
Did you play video games? Like none of that
Yeah, I was
shit?
a big time gamer for sure.
So you did that, and so you
Yeah.
still had time to.
Yeah, I still had time to do that at night and stuff, but I would do some of the bike maintenance, and I'd forget to put oil on the bike and blew it up, and got a tongue. My dad wasn't stoked. Definitely was pretty mad at me, but yeah, it just normal kid stuff. But it was just pertained to just being out in the country, riding dirt bikes, playing video games, and then your friends would come.
Yeah.
And then my dad had us on the weed whackers. We'd weed whack, and then we'd ride.
That's so sick. What video games were you playing back in the day?
Oh, Grand Theft Auto, Mario Kart. I mean, it's everything, really.
Oh, that's so good. So yeah, after school, get home and do some work on the bike or the track, and then ride until dark, and then play video games.
Pretty much.
That's honestly pretty solid.
It's a good life.
Yeah.
It was a good life. Just like I think of us like farmers, but like we were farmers for dirt bikes.
Yeah. Yeah. Always something to tractor to fix, whatever to, like there's always something to work on.
Pretty good life.
So good. So how far do you live from Millville now?
So right now I'm about 25 minutes away. I'm on the northeast side of Rochester.
Yeah.
So it's actually a nice little commute to work.
Yeah.
Out there and back, and yeah, I'm downtown Rochester in 10 minutes, and I don't really like Minneapolis, St. Paul. If I want to go up there and be engulfed in a massive city, I guess you have that, but I don't really like the rat race of a big city.
So what's the program now? You just you go out to Millville a few days a week and work?
Yeah, usually I was trying to train for a marathon, the Med City Marathon in Rochester, Minnesota with Alex. And then I bagged that to do the first 2 rounds of outdoors, which I'm like, I did so bad, I might as well have ran the marathon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually get up in the morning, train. I'd like to run another marathon. Or try to run a marathon. I've never done that. So usually run in the morning anywhere from 7 to 8 miles, and then go out and work. And then, I bought that KX 450.
Yeah.
So then I was riding that a little bit. So that was kind of fun. And then you work on the bike. I feel like I've come full circle.
In what way?
Just like working on the bike again. I had to go out and buy a toolbox.
Back to being a kid again,
yeah,
basically.
back to being a kid, like helping mom and dad out. Like I guess what I kind of grew up doing, and riding dirt bikes out at Millville and just kind of living.
Just living the dream.
Yeah.
That's so good. So when you're a kid, when did you figure out that you're a bit of a beast and that you could ride way more than other kids and you just like to work?
I think it was probably like I said on the Super
On the
Mini.
Super Mini.
That's when it really clicked. I actually started to get pretty good. I was traveling to a lot of different states and winning in races, and I became a gamer.
Yeah. And what's that process like in a kid's mind? Like, do you even know what's happening to you, or this is all just you're looking back and figuring it out, looking back in a way?
Your perspective, I think, definitely changes when you're at the end of it, right?
Yeah.
So when I look back, I think it's different now, but in the moment, you're just trying to make it.
Yeah.
You're all in. And like, I didn't really have, I guess, I felt like I didn't have a plan B. It was all plan A, just trying to be a professional motocross racer. That was it. It was either you do it or you don't.
And that just drove you to kind of do whatever it took.
I think so. And then, like I said, I saw my dad was definitely, he lives to work, right? Lives to work. And I think that also like paved the way for me too. It's like, you know, look at me now. You know, I still got up after Millville and I went and trained. And I was like tearing down banners and repeaters because like I did the one job, but my mom and dad expect me to show up and to help them as well. So I can't let them down. And I got to, you know, get in there. So I just think, you know, just kind of delegate everything, you know.
And so over time, you just turned into this guy that has the work ethic, and it just becomes like a part of who you are in a sense.
I think so. And I almost in a sense, I look at this now like Cameron Haynes.
Yeah.
That dude's gnarly.
Yeah.
Like David Goggins, gnarly, right? Like when I broke my back, I thought of like David Goggins. I was listening to his book, the audio book, and like, you know, everything. And that really motivated me a lot. And I feel like through being gnarly the last couple of years and like whatnot, it's almost created opportunities for me. Right? Like, it's pretty insane.
What kind of opportunities?
Well, I mean, just being fit. Like I did Leadville last year. Like, you know, I let my brain recover and all that kind of stuff. And then with doing that, I didn't know if I was kind of quite ready to kind of be done with racing yet. And then, you know, I got the VIP host gig, and then I was like training for a marathon. And then just by staying gnarly, like in the shadows and being fit, I got this. There should be 8 250 star riders, and 4 of them were hurt. I'm hosting people every Saturday.
And you're just like...
And then I'm just like in the shadows, and Bobby sees me in, I forget where we were, Pittsburgh. And, you know, they kind of had a delay that day, and he was just like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm hosting. He's like, no, like, you riding anymore or whatever? And we just got into a conversation. And then and that's when he said, hey, he's like, come ride the bike. And I said, are you shitting me? And like, how do you say no to riding a Star Yamaha, right? I booked a flight and I flew down. And I busted out 235s with the boys.
That's so savage, bro.
Like, I shouldn't have been able to do that.
No.
And I didn't really fade. And then they said, come back. And just by, like, that's an example of me just being gnarly, right? And then I was training for a marathon, so I ran in the morning. I ran like an hour, did the motos with those guys, and then I ran like 10 in the afternoon. So it was just like, and then it kind of, it's just created opportunities.
You don't have to get ready if you stay ready kind of deal.
Basically.
Fuck, it's so sick. Like, I hope that people listen to this understand the level that you're at. Own your piece of motocross history by heading to jmart6.com to grab yourself a farewell t-shirt, available right now. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.